back.
Action films are a dime a dozen, serving up easy and generally forgettable entertainment. Liam Neeson does his thing on a train, Gerard Butler does it on a plane, and well, actually, Neeson also has a plane flick, and one in a car, so it's safe to say that you intuitively know all the beats. Set pieces with escalating stakes culminating in a big showdown before a happy ending. Been there, done that. Now, have you ever wondered, could I get more from my action flick? If so, then Monkey Man, Dev Patel's debut as writer and director, is a must-watch that surpasses the shallowness of its genre to deliver excitement and a genuinely compelling social commentary. India is a nation plagued by religious and political evils, according to Dev Patel, and his titular hero must go on a vengeful odyssey in order to rectify these ills by cutting off the head of the snake literally at the top of a tower. It isn't without its faults though, as I'll go in on shortly, but firstly a bit of background. Our hero, at times referred to as the Kid, Bobby, or Monkey Man, is a traumatized young man who has grown up on the rough Indian streets. He's without family after a brutal massacre in his youth which saw political figures displace his community from their traditional land under false pretenses. These forces are a mix of Hindu nationalists, corrupt police, and gangsters who engage in human trafficking. All of them are distinctly xenophobic and merciless in their treatment of those less fortunate than them. This event haunts Monkey Man throughout the entire run of the film and is the catalyst for his one-man army battle against the cancer eating away at India's moral centre. Surprisingly, the film handles this social commentary well enough that you don't feel as though you're being lectured. Perhaps an Indian viewer would feel differently, but I found it to be well balanced, with the more gratifying action elements such that I could say we actually have a film in 2024 that can explore subjects like trans rights without pandering. This is the first strength of Monkey Man, as I mentioned, as you get something more than just a good action film. It doesn't reach the heights of, say, an Old Boy, for instance, but it does at least make the hero Monkey Man more than just a one-dimensional killing machine like John Wick. This will likely affect its commercial appeal, but it is admirable, I think, to have taken such a big swing with your debut effort. The first real issue with the film is its editing, which is jagged and at times so unfocused that you can barely process where everyone is within a given scene. It's done for all the usual reasons of trying to make something dramatic, dynamic, and exciting, but falls flat. You should all have disdain for fast cuts. Alongside this, the film is longer than necessary, clocking in at an hour 53, when there's at least 10 minutes of fat you could trim down, especially on the page. A character, Alfonso, serves his purpose in the first act by helping introduce us and Monkey Man into the underworld he must infiltrate, but is then shoehorned into the second act where his presence is mere filler. Another example occurs in the third act when Monkey Man spends time rescuing a temple which serves as a refuge for trans people from financial hardship. This simply drags out the film longer than necessary, as we take a detour from the central revenge plot, and any involvement these characters have in the film is already justified before these events, so it's all redundant. Now, without spoiling the plot, there is a redemption of sorts in this detour for our hero, but it's ultimately unnecessary, as everything communicated is repeated in the final tower battle. A strength on the writing side, though, is that our hero genuinely must work for his vengeance. John Wick comparisons are so inevitable that the film even mentions this, so if you use the first film and compare it to Monkey Man, then you see some stark differences. Firstly, Wick digs up guns buried in his basement and heads off to kill everyone. That's the movie, and for all its fun, there's nothing more to it, unless you're trying really hard to build it out. Monkey Man, on the other hand, needs to suffer punishing losses as a professional fighter to scrape together enough money to buy a 38mm pistol. He must learn how to shoot his gun, grow physically stronger and more determined when weakness creeps into his bones, so that he can be an effective killing machine. He must suffer internally and externally in order to climb the ranks of this criminal organization to kill the right people. This point of difference makes the film far more interesting, as there's an actual character arc rather than simply introducing us to a perfected weapon in the first act. Furthermore, his revenge story is born from a strong desire to save India's marginalized from religious, governmental, and criminal oppression. The fact that it involves killing a bunch of people who are at the top of this vile pyramid instead of changing laws just makes everything more atavistic. So, Monkey Man is a good action film with a strong social consciousness that carefully walked the line between preachy and profound. I'd recommend you go see it in theaters and look forward to more work from Dev Patel as writer and director. Thanks for watching.
Just one small ember can burn down everything.